Hey puppy people, Jude the Puppy Nanny here. Don't let your puppy run throughout your house. Do you know that if you're going to have immediate success with potty training, you need to confine your puppy? Puppies earn the right to roam free through your home when they learn to control their bladders and their bowels, and that's not going to be for a few weeks yet. I always talk about setting up long-term confinement areas, and today, thanks to my very good friends here at Quality Garden and Pet, and particularly the manager of this department, Kristen, I was able to come here and set up a long-term confinement area on a somewhat smaller scale than you might use, but to give you the idea as to how it will work. So, let's get started. The first thing you need is an X-pen, which is actually called an exercise pen, but we've always called them X-pens. And they come in a size that is parameter that is like this. And so if your puppy is going to be of any size at all, you might want to get two. This is the 24-inch height, which is good to start with. But if you're going to get a bigger dog, then I would certainly, one that will grow to a bigger dog, I would certainly start with a higher X-pen. You can use the X-pen folded up as a gate. You can also use a baby gate. What you want to do is to be able to confine the puppy either in the middle of the kitchen where you have a linoleum floor, or you want to be able to confine it to the laundry room, the back porch or the back entryway. A bathroom is good, but you need a baby gate. Please don't close the door on a puppy in a room. They will not be happy about that. So you start with your X-pen, and I've left the side open so I can go in and out. And in the X-pen, the thing you'll want to do is put in here the crate, and in the crate you want a washable pad because it'd be nice and comfy for puppy. And the other thing in this area that you will want is a water dish, one that doesn't tip. This one happens to have a rubber base, which is perfect because it won't slide around the floor either. And for the long-term confinement, because many families have to leave their relatively new puppy for 8 hours, and you can't expect any puppy to hold his bladder that long. So you can make a dog indoor potty using a kitty litter tray and with some either kitty litter in it and some real sod over the top, or if your puppy is going to be a city dog, you can just lay ceramic tiles rough side up with some kitty litter on the bottom, and that would become their indoor toilet. The clever people who understand all about what's going on in the puppy world have actually created something called the indoor dog potty. Now, these are really great, and I've only opened it halfway, but it's fake grass. It's got a tray underneath with absorbent pads. The one thing I will say about the indoor toilet is if you are going to be at home, or you have arranged for somebody to come and take your puppy out, and when you are at home, take this out and put it away. The idea is always to get your puppy to potty outside. This is when he has no means to get there. So this is a really good thing, and you want to put it in as inside, obviously, the X-pen, but as far away from his crate as possible. We're a little bit confined here for space, as you can see. Now, so we've got our crate, we've got our indoor potty, we've got a water bowl, and you don't have to buy this at a pet supply store. This is a timer. This will be, next to the crate and the X-pen, your best friend when it comes to training your puppy. Now you're wondering, I bet, why is the timer one of your best friends? Well, it doesn't have anything to do with puppy's ability to tell you when he is going to pee or poop or needs to. It has to do with our ability to predict it. So, the way to potty train your puppy very easily and quickly is to have this particular setup, and then at the top of every hour, you set the timer to go. And when the timer goes, you take your puppy, and you might want to carry him to the door because he can't trust his bladder to hold it at this point. Carry him to the door, leash on, put him down outside and take him to the area where you want him to go potty. Make sure you take treats with you. 3, I recommend, as does Ian Dunbar. 3 treats for potty and lots of excitement. There are all kinds of amazing treats. There are lots of really good quality treats on the market these days. And you certainly can make your own. As a puppy trainer, I really have to say there's nothing competes with freeze-dried liver. You can break it as small as need be, or you can use it in the big pieces, but for potty training reward, make it small. And just go, oh, what a good girl, or boy, as the case may be. And then when you have an empty puppy, bring puppy back into your home and allow the pup 10 to 15 minutes freedom in the kitchen, in the living room, wherever you might be that you're all gathered together. But you notice I said 10 to 15 minutes, no more. And then back into the long-term confinement area, and the timer is set once again for the top of the hour. This gradually increases, the length of time increases as the puppy gets older. And then you go and do the same thing again. Now, when you leave your puppy in the long-term confinement area, let's just say you're going to another room in the house, or at this point maybe you have to go back to work. You don't want to leave a puppy with nothing to do. They'll either destroy something, they'll start to yip, 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 or they'll cry, and you don't want any of that. The one thing that all puppies do is chew. And so we want to encourage the chewing, but we want to encourage the chewing on the right things. You think I'm digressing, but I'm not. You notice that we have a water dish, but no food dish here. And that's because, of course, puppies need water always. Never withhold water from puppies. But they don't need a food dish right away. It's really, really wise if you feed your puppy by hand as rewards for training, or in some sort of stuffable chew toy. I would suggest hand feeding for the first week or 2 and at intervals after that. But take some of his ration of dog food, and I know some companies actually make a food that's designed for puppies. This is a Canadian company, Acana, and this one is for puppies and juniors. Good quality. Read the labels, folks. Read the labels on your pet food and make sure that what you're feeding them is something that you deem to be nutritious. Now, back to our stuffable chew toys. This is Squirrel Dude in the small size, extra small size, and this is Squirrel Dude in the small size. These guys have a hole in the bottom and little rubber bits that hold the treats or the kibble, because you don't want to fill this with treats, you will want to use some kibble for this, in. If it doesn't come out easily though, puppies will get very discouraged and the point is lost entirely. So check to make sure they'll come out, and if not, trim these back enough to let them out, let the treats out, the kibble. And this one here, which is a stick, you can stuff in the middle, and then you can put a big smear of cream cheese or peanut butter around the edge, again to keep pup busy. I have noticed that not all puppies like peanut butter, but I haven't found one yet that doesn't like cream cheese. So I'd go with that. And so you're now ready to leave your puppy, perhaps, for a while. And I would make sure that part of his daily ration was in 3 of these, and I would leave them for him to explore and investigate, and then I could close the X-Pen and away I go. You may want to keep pup at the furthest side from his indoor potty area as possible. So the way to do that is to, after you've stuffed it, there's a hole in both ends of all of these. You just run a string through and tie it on either to the inside of the crate if you want to keep them in the crate. Tie it to a little eye bolt in the baseboard. Okay, so you've got your stuffable chew toys, and you might want to keep Pup in the crate to chew it. So you can take some string, and it has to be cotton string, because if they happen to eat it, it will digest and pass through the digestive system easily. Anything else, you run a risk. So good old cheap cotton string. You might have to double it. It's probably pretty breakable. And you can tie the stuffed chew toy onto the back of the crate, or you can take a little eye bolt, and these are very small, you will probably want bigger than this, and screw it into the baseboard or the door frame and tie the string onto that, and the string through the chew toy, so that you actually can confine Pup to where you want him, which could be on his mat. So you could have the mat, the chew toy tied onto the wall. I don't think I would recommend tying it onto the X-Pen. I can see that going badly, so I don't recommend that. And the other thing that's a very good item, and I don't know a puppy that doesn't love them. This is a bit big for your very new puppy, but it was easier to show you this. And this is a shank bone, and it's already partly hollow. And after Pup has had it for a while, it'll be even more hollow. When they're hollow like that, don't throw them out. You can use cream cheese and kibble to stuff it again, and when you have a collection of them, you can actually freeze one or two so that you always have something at the ready, and when it's frozen, it takes Pup that much longer. So he's happy inside this area because there's so much good stuff going on for him. So I think, just to quickly review, instead of giving your Pup full run of the house and you having to clean up little puppy puddles and little puppy piles, create a confinement area, a long-term confinement area, either with an X-Pen or baby gate. Create an indoor potty situation if you have to leave your Pup for anything more than, at the beginning, anything more than 3 hours. That's probably too long. A crate, a washable pad in it, certainly some stuffed chew toys, and I can't emphasize that enough, how important they are. Water dish, always fresh water for puppies, please. And the important item of a timer for when you're at home and wanting to stay on top of that potty training. Always set it for the top of the hour. And puppies only get freedom when they're empty, and then that's still limited freedom. So I hope this has been helpful. You'll find other helpful puppy training tips on my YouTube channel. And that's it for now. Jude the Puppy Nanny.